People often ask this question of this relationship I'm in. Should I, make effort? Should I put effort? Or should I just let things just play out how they should? Because they have had relationships in the past that have failed. And those relationships, they put in effort, did everything possible to make it work. But it didn't work. Why? Because they liked the person. And but this time around, due to series of failed relationships, they want this particular one to work because they think this person might be different, but they don't want to go off based on just that feeling or just that thought. They want to confirm. They want to know how compatible they are with this person, where difficulties and tensions might arise, where they might find it easy to interact and where they might find it difficult to interact. So they turn to things like Synastry astrology or relationship astrology. Like for those who don't know the term Synastry, Synastry is basically, simply put, Synastry is a comparison of two people's charts, two partners that are in a relationship or marriage or whichever, to discover, though whether you're engaged or any whatsoever, to discuss to know the dynamics of how their energies interact with each other and where they find it easy. So some people find it difficult in places like sharing things. Some people flow better when they are talking when it comes to conversation. Some people don't flow better when they are talking when they're having conversations with certain people. Or they're having conversation with certain people. It's not like the person they are not flowing with is they hate that person. It's just in the place of conversation. There's a tension that doesn't allow them to properly align in that sense. So this video is for Synastry astrology. You understand? And Synastry astrology is almost, I'll use the word infinite. You can't specifically put a one pattern to what describes the whole of that. So, but in this video, and before I proceed, I will do other videos that will be a follow-up to this particular one. So, but in this video, I'm going to list out the two key things. The two key things when it comes to Synastry astrology, so that when people are interacting with someone, they get to understand. And then in the next videos, I'll also go ahead. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel because I'll do a follow-up video on Synastry. Now in this video, right, we are going to be looking at the sun and the moon. These are very two strong indicators. You understand me? We are going to be looking at the sun and the moon. Now, why do I say the sun and the moon here? It's because these are the indicators for men and women when it comes to love, when it comes to bonding, when it comes to building a family, when it comes to being with someone long term. You have to understand that when it comes to relationships, when we look at the charts, we consider the sun for women. You understand what I'm saying? And for men, we consider the moon. So the moon is for men, while the sun is for women. I know some people will say, this is not about gender of the planets. No, this is not about gender of the planets. That's not what I'm doing here. We are taking considerations where to look for indications of where you need to get these things. So what these things describes in a man and a woman's life astrologically. You see, regardless of what dating coaches tell you, compatibility comes in different ways, regardless. And why I say regardless of what relationship coaches tell you is because they might give you a lot of formulas. This is what you need to do for this to work. But for example, the red pill community, they have this saying that it's only the masculine men, that get women and all of that. But when you look at reality, see, people often go just easily, giving into things that indoctrinate them. But when you look into the reality, you'll find that women are actually getting pregnant for men that are not masculine. So what is the cause? This is it. The sun. You understand what I'm saying? So the sun here is the indicator for a female. You understand me? Whichever sign a woman's sun is in is going to describe the kind of man You know the sun sign that everybody used to, I'm an Aquarius, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a Leo. It's not necessarily that a woman is going to, let's say a woman has the sun in Leo, for example, which is the fifth place, right? Let's say a woman has the sun in Leo. It's not necessarily that a woman will like a Leo man, but that is a bigger indication that she's going to like a Leo man. Yes, she's a Leo sun. A Leo man is someone that is also going to be very compatible for her, especially if the Leo man ticks all the box of everything that Leo is. Now, what is Leo? Leo is charisma. Yes, some people often think no, Leo is charisma. Leo is autonomy. That is, when I'm not talking about autonomy, I'm talking about someone who calls the shot for himself. These are the things that Leo describes. Someone who is very youthful. That's why you see some women have the tendency to like younger guys. Check it very well. They have the sun in Leo, or their sun shines in the fifth house, which is the place that is ruled by Leo. Are you understanding me? The sign that a woman's sun is in is going to describe a kind of preference for the kind of man she wants to bear children for. This is what this indication is. A very strong indication. This sits on top of everything. I'll go into other things later in the next video. Like we're going to look into Mars, we're going to look into Jupiter, we're going to look into Venus, we're going to look into Neptune. There's a lot to look into, but in this video I'm going to focus on these two, so I don't make the video too long. So this sign, the sign that you see, it describes any woman that has given birth. You understand me? Look for a sun sign. A sun sign is going to describe. If a sun sign is Capricorn, let's say our sun is in Capricorn. What is Capricorn? Capricorn is the engineer, is a carpenter, is a developer. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. It's an authority figure. A woman with the sun in Capricorn is likely, not likely, because there are two indications, is why I said likely. Now, what do I mean by two indications? It's because the fifth house, the sun is the ruler of the fifth sign, which is Leo. So the fifth sign, the sign that is in the fifth place of anybody's chart, I'm reading from the ascendant. Don't get me confused. I'm reading from the ascendant. So whichever planet rules the sign that is in the fifth house also acts as that person's sun. That's what you people need to understand. So the fifth house ruler of a woman and her sun are the two major indicators of whom describes whom she's going to bear children for. I guarantee you it doesn't fail. Her sun could be in Capricorn. Capricorn is poverty. She is likely going to get pregnant. I'm not saying all women, no. Capricorn is also business. But if you find a woman who chose of all the suitors that came for her way, and she looked for, and she decided to settle for a man that didn't have money, and you think what the women want, because everybody feels they figure this whole thing out, and you say, what do women want? This girl, suitors came away, and she left them and went to get married, to get pregnant for a poor dude. How? People say it's not possible. Yes, it's possible. This is why paternity fraud is. People are very adamant. It's why paternity fraud will continue to thrive. You think you can use your money to buy love? I'm showing you the astrological indications here. The sun describes whom a woman is going to get pregnant for. Capricorn is business, a businessman, a developer, a site developer, a builder, an engineer. Is what Capricorn is. Of all of these indications, one or more is going to describe the man she gets pregnant for, because her sun shines in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, let's say our sun shines. Let's say we are looking at example. I'm using an example. Don't think I left anybody out. So I want to use, for example, a Virgo rising chart. Right? I want to use a Virgo rising. Virgo has Capricorn in the fifth house. You understand what I'm saying? So the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. Now you have to look for where Saturn is in this chart. Because now that this person has Capricorn here, Saturn is now behaving, is now acting as the son of this person together with the son too. You understand me? So more like, I always tell you people, if you want to really understand how the houses work, whichever sign is in the first house, that is your own Aries. And the ruler of that sign is your own Mars. Take it like that and then read it. It will be easy for you to understand. So I'm not teaching that one yet too. This Saturn now, wherever Saturn is in this person's chart, let's say Saturn is in this person's 8th house. You understand me? This person is likely going to be drawn to men. She is going to be drawn to men that are in places of power, because that is what the 8th place is. It's power. The 8th place of what is it called? The 8th place of Virgo is Aries. Yes. So Aries is the handsome guy. You understand? Aries is the handsome guy, the fine boy, but not without the power element to it. Aries is also the criminal. Aries being in the 8th place, this is the place of criminality, and then Aries is there. This is someone that will likely like a drug lord. Yes, she's going to get pregnant. She can come from a good family background, but this energy is going to dictate all of that. You see people who come from very well good background and they have a likeness, they have a liking to bad boys. You don't understand what is dictating that energy for them. They say, oh, all women are the same. Shut up. You don't know women. People are generalizing things too much. This is the very dictate of how these things play out in reality that nobody is looking into. You understand what I'm saying? She has Saturn here in the 8th house. It's not just Aries. She's going to like a handsome guy who is in a position of power, but also good in bed, because the 8th place is sex. Aries is sex. You understand what I'm saying? This is for women. Okay, so another indication here I want to understand. I want men to also understand here. Is this. Men, listen. Men, please listen. Listen. If you're a man, and let's say, I'm not using sun sign here. I'm not using sun sign here now, because you people have this sun sign, whole thing just messed up. I am using rising sign. Let's say for a man, let's pick a sign for a man. Let's say you're a Leo rising as a man. Let's say you're a Leo rising. So the 5th place of Leo, pay attention to what, and the 5th place of Leo is Sagittarius. The 9th place of Leo is Aries. Now, this is the thing. As a man, if you, as a Leo rising man, not sun, rising sign, go and watch my video of what nobody tells you about astrology. You will see what I said about the rising sign. It is very important. I guarantee you, it is extremely important. It's the rising sign that I have seen practically for myself. I have seen practically for myself that it works. The sun sign works too. The sun sign tradition is everywhere. So I like to go for things that are also astounding but are unique. So yes, the rising sign, I use that. So let's say you're a Scorpio rising man, and you meet a woman that is a Sagittarius sun. Do you know what that means? It means that our sun shines in your 5th place. Do you remember what I said about the 5th place? The 5th place is the place that is ruled by Leo and the sun. Our sun shines in your 5th house. She's going to have very strong admiration for you. Are you following what I'm saying? She's going to have a very, very, very strong admiration for you. If you meet an Aries woman, which means that woman's sun shines in your 9th place, you are going to be an object of fantasy for her. That is what the 9th is. It's fantasy. Are you paying attention to what I'm saying? That is fantasy. This is someone that she's going to really find you funny. That is the 9th house. I mean, you don't consider yourself funny, but when you say something, you always see this particular girl is always laughing. She's always giggling. You don't know what is happening. You don't know what is happening. She's always giggling. You're like, why did I say that's even funny? That's it. The one that sweeps her out off her feet. It's the same way it goes in a lady's chart too. I just described men. In a lady's chart too, if a lady is also, let me use another sign here. Let me say Cancer, for example, because that is the sign of women. So let's say you're a Cancer rising as a woman. So So in the 5th place is Scorpio for Cancer. And then the 9th place is Pisces. You understand? That is how it goes. These are water signs, right? So, as a Cancer rising woman, even a Cancer man, his sun shines in your face. You know what the sun is? The sun is admiration. You understand me? You instantly admire Cancer men. Not all. You understand what I'm saying? Majority of the time, you admire Cancer men. If a man's sun, as a woman, a man's sun shines in your face, it is going to be very difficult for you to resist. What do I mean? If the sign that is your rising sign is the man's sun sign, that means that his sun is shining in your face. Because I saw watch my video of the Astrology of the Human Anatomy. You will see where I describe all of the body. You know, the first place is ruled by Aries, right? So, which is the face. You understand me? Yeah, it's the face. So, his sun shines in your face. The ease for you to get naked and want to get pregnant is there. You understand what I'm saying? It's there. Now, let's look at the 5th. If you see a Scorpio rising man, you're also going to admire him. You're going to find him attractive. You're going to be drawn to him. This is because his sun shines in your 5th place of admiration and love, loyalty. You see these 3 places I'm emphasizing in? These are the 3 core places that you need to look for. Attraction. There's one. I'll get into that one very soon. Everybody knows it, but until I say it, you will not know that is what I wanted to say. The fifth year, a Scorpio rising man is going to trigger attraction for a Cancer rising woman. Same way a Pisces rising man, just that in this place now, it now becomes an object of fantasy. This is the guy that she is going to travel, she is willing to travel to go and meet, to spend time with. Yes. This is the guy that sweeps her off her feet. This is the guy that blows her mind. This is a fantasy guy. The guy whose sun shines in the 9th house. This is a fantasy guy. A lot of guys have this messed up. When you become an object of a woman's fantasy, and immediately you know you start misbehaving. You start misbehaving. Then you're scratching. It's like a disc that is spinning. You're scratching it. You're becoming a trauma to this very individual. That is why they keep coming for compatibility reading, because you men don't want to coordinate yourself. You men don't want to coordinate yourself. Stop it. So, another one too. Just so everybody knows it. Like I said, I'm not talking about sun signs here. I am talking about rising signs. The 7th place. Whichever sign that you are, the sign that opposes your sign, whoever you meet is going to trigger an instant attraction for you. If you're a Aries rising, you meet a Libra woman. If you're a Libra Aries rising man or woman, you meet an Aries man or woman. Instant attraction. Because this is the place of attraction. The 7th place instantly. This is the place of attraction. You understand what I'm saying here? Whichever sign it's in your rising sign, if you meet a person whose sun shines in your 7th, it's an instant attraction. You understand what I'm saying? So let's say you're a Gemini rising. Let's say you're a Gemini rising. You're going to be attracted to a Sagittarius sun. This is how it works. If you're a Cancer, you're going to be attracted to a Capricorn. If you're a Taurus, you're going to be attracted to a Scorpio. If you're a Scorpio, you're going to be attracted to a Taurus. If you're a Sagittarius, you're going to be attracted to a Gemini. This is how it goes. If you're a Leo, you're going to be attracted to an Aquarius. If you're an Aquarius, you're going to be attracted to Leo. This is how this thing goes, based on the opposite side. Because this person's sun shines in your 7th sense. That makes them an object of attraction. That's instant attraction. That is one. And the sun now becomes that object of admiration. And I think I'm ready to have a child for this guy. That is for women. Now, I want women to pay attention to this one, because I'm going to be talking about men now. I hope this video is not too long, right? So, I've talked about the sun a lot. Now let me talk about the moon. Pay attention. Don't mind my chart though. It doesn't have to be always, be accurate. You see, so for men, women should pay attention to this. You see, the moon is the very planet in a man's chart that describes the kind of woman he wants to wife. The woman he wants to make the mother of his children. This is it. The woman that he will always come back home to. That is the moon. Regardless of whatever he does, the woman is always going to come back to. This is the one that is on top of his list. Every other thing is just putting him in predator mode. He's just an hunter. He will just strike and pull out. If you strike and pull out, he will always come back to this one. This one sits on top of his list. I know a lot of people have a lot of opinion about blah, blah, no, leave all that stuff alone. You see, women are often, carried away with all this do me, I do you mentality. Why should a man cheat and a woman is not allowed to cheat? Who made that law? Women, people are not the same with me. I'm not even speaking for men, or I'm trying to justify that where men need to cheat. No, that's not the point here. You are not the same with me. It doesn't work the same, but let me leave that conversation first. So, the moon, the place where you find a man's moon. You're interacting with a man that knows astrology. You're asking what is your moon sign. You understand my point? Ask the man what is your moon sign. If you ask me my moon sign is Aquarius. My moon is in Aquarius. Yes. In case you want to ask me, my moon is in Aquarius. So I'm not going to settle for mediocrity. You just know what Aquarius is. You people know. Hey, you're watching me, you know Aquarius is. My moon is in Aquarius. In case some people want to pry, hey Lee, what is your own? Hey, my own is in Aquarius. So the sign that a man's moon is, let's say a man is a Sagittarius rising. And his moon is in Taurus, because that is the 6th place of Sagittarius, right? The 5th is Aries. So this is Taurus, right? His moon shines in Taurus. No matter what you want to say, this man is, one, going to like a woman that is very grounded emotionally. Very grounded and down to earth. There's nothing you want to tell him, because the 6th place, even by itself, is humility. Because the place that is shown by Virgo is humility. He's going to like a woman that is humble, a woman that understands family values. That is all it's about. And a woman that can cook. A woman that can cook. Taurus is food. And a woman who can, whether he has 50 billion, it does not matter. This is someone that they don't even know they are doing it. But I guarantee you, it's someone that can just call up the woman in his life and be like, can you assist me with 10K? I have something urgently to deal with. That's his favors. A man's moon is in Taurus, yes, which is provision, money. That's the sign of Taurus, food. You need to meet all of these criteria for you to say, oh, this is the mother of my children. I just said the one for women. So now that I'm saying the one for men, don't come and say, why must I do all that stuff? No, you should chill. You should chill. Please, let me do my astrology. You understand? So, the 6th is favors. He will always need you to do financial favors for him. Until you have passed that test, you will not be like, okay, this. You see, I combined both the house and the sign. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, that's what I just did now. So you understand it better. You understand what I'm saying? You understand it better. So, another thing here is the phase of the moon that the man was born in. But it's going to make the video complicated. I'll go into that later in another video. You understand? So, wherever a man's moon is in his chart, you understand me? Wherever a man's moon is in his chart, if a man has the moon in Pisces, let's say for example, because Pisces rules the 12th place, or he has this thing in the 12th place, you have to be a prayer warrior. There's nothing. I'm saying, but yeah, Pisces is prayer, or the 12th house is prayer, but depending on the sign that is there, it's also another thing. So that touch of spirituality, that touch of sensitivity, that touch of like for example, a man has the moon in the fourth house. He wants a woman that is an empath. That is the mother of his children. It's different from different men. It does not go on a straight line. All these things, blah, blah, no, 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 no. Yeah, at the end of the day, if a man meets the woman that matches his energy, he's going to make that woman the mother of his children. He's going to wife that woman. I guarantee you. All these things relationship coaches are telling you, it's all indoctrination, it's programming. This is the very thing that is dictating all of that energy. If a man's sun sign, if a man's moon sign, is, let's say for example, Capricorn, he wants an emotionally mature woman. You understand what I'm saying? He wants an emotionally mature woman. If a man's moon shines in Sagittarius, he wants a woman with a sense of humor. Not when he says something that you misinterpret it and start getting angry and acting out. No. There are layers to this. He also wants a woman who is mentally, vast when it comes to things, that philosophical mindset. Whom he can turn to be like, on a broader level, what do you think about these things? And the woman begins to speak. This is philosophy, the sign of philosophy and education. Is going to want a woman that is highly educated. That is the mother of his children. Are you paying attention? So I said I was going to do just the moon and the sun and the moon for this particular stuff. So this is it. Yeah, so I will do a follow-up video displaying other signs and how it works. And then later on, I'll talk about the aspects. You understand? Yes, I'll talk about the aspects. So you guys will see this thing. This is Synastry. I want to do justice to this stuff, but I don't want the videos to be long. So yes, I will see you guys in the next video.